welcome to the Technical Reality webinar. Well, we've been not doing this for a while. Now we're back on track with Faraz. My name is Birim. I'm digital marketing expert at Zero Density. I'll be your host. Today, Faraz Qayyum, technical artist at Zero Density, will walk you through reality control tools. So Faraz, tell us what we have today.
Well, hi guys. We have a very different session, very specific session today. It's not about design, it's not about production workflow, it's not about the composite pipeline that we have, and it's not about the reality gear, the world first image-based gear, tracked-aware gear. So it is something related with the operational side and management side. So our customers, our partners very well know about this, but we just need to shout out that for the other people who don't know about the reality, that these tools are there, right? So this webinar going to be very short. This is what I think. I don't know. I just prepared.
You always say that. It never.
Then I start talking about the reality. No one can stop me. I know myself. Yeah, exactly. But I try to make it very short, right? I already prepared one presentation for you guys. So let's get started with this, right? I'm sharing my screen. And here we go. Yes. My attendees can see my screen, right?
Yes, I think it's visible.
Okay, fine. So guys, let's start. You already know me. And we are talking about the reality control applications today, right? So let's move on. I have a very basic workflow diagram that what we have. And this is what we suggest, this is what we assume that an ideal scenario that every virtual studio should have, right? But it is not mandatory. You can always customize these resources as per your requirement. So what we have, one is the cook server, and I will give you detail about everything. So I just want to give you an overview first, and then we will dive into it in detail, right? So we have cook server, we have control servers, we have reality engines, and we have editor workstation. And all of these things connected right with a central resource called R drive on your network, definitely on a single network. So these resources or these tools or these workstation, these engines are something like this. The control servers are definitely for control your virtual set application management and monitoring, right? The cook server is there, which helps you guys to cook your or make an optimized version of your virtual sets, right? Maybe you will have the cook server on your editor's workstation, right? This is what I tell you, that it is not mandatory at all. We have reality engines where all the compositing happen and all the technical part it is handling. So the reality engine is there, and we have the editor's workstation, which are the design reality editor helps you to design your virtual studio, so your virtual set or AR graphics. So it is there, and all of them are connected with a single with a central resource called R drive. So you have all your videos, texture, project, R graphs, and action files, and everything right inside this central resource. So everything which is in this reality virtual studio ecosystem share this central resource, right? So this is just a very high level overview. Let me give you an overview of some features that we have in for reality control application. It is quite user friendly. Your operators, your studio managers or anyone else who wants to operate it doesn't necessarily have any knowledge of Unreal, composite pipeline, or any other technical information. It is just a simple user interface designed for operators only, right? So it is the GUI is very user friendly. Engine runtime logs available to deep dive into the troubleshooting process. From this application, you will get all the necessary information. Maybe your technical guys need them to troubleshoot or to monitor the system resources, all the runtime logs regarding the studio, regarding the engine. Definitely you can manage it with this one interface. And definitely we will dive into it practically when I finish my presentation. Manage and monitor multiple engines from one interface. When I say multiple engines, it means that each engine typically represent a physical camera inside your studio, right? So in the multiple cameras environment, you can manage all of your engine from this one interface. Engine auto cache management system, definitely every virtual set has some sort of, definitely have to have cache. So when you load it, it loads faster the next time. One, it compile all the shaders and everything. But what unique we have is that we are managing the cache automatically based on the frequency that particular virtual set is on air, right? So most frequently used set are top of the list, and more the set that you are not using, the graphics that you are not using are down below the list, or by this way you can load your set in just 1, 2, 3, like 2 or 3 seconds. So it is a very advanced cache management system based on a couple of some algorithms. I will definitely take you into this later. Ability to cook and run cook versions of virtual set. This is what everybody asks me, that what is this? Because I don't know. This is something that in the gaming industry use years and guys using years for years and years, right? The cook version is the most optimized version for that particular native platform. I have a very basic information, very basic definition for you guys. And reality, Virtual Studio have ability to cook and run cooked version of your virtual set with all the controls. Again, this part is not mandatory. Whenever you feel that you need more optimization, more performance out of your virtual set, you can cook it and use the cooked version of your virtual set. This is a great advantage that we have, right? Show real-time statistics about GPU, CPU, and video I/O, all of that stuff. So definitely it is there, and you can monitor all your hardware resources as well from this one interface. The next slide is content cooking. The process of converting content from the internal format, the platform-specific format, is referred to as cooking. The cook version is always more memory and performance efficient, because I want to explain this to many of the people out there, right? The Reality Virtual Studio supports both editor and shipping cook versions of VS and AR graphics. So cooking is there. We will be able to cook. We can launch the cook version in shipping mode, but editor mode is always there. So you don't have to cook your content before launching it or before take them into the virtual production. The interface have 5 different categories, right? The one is launcher, where you can launch your virtual studio by just one click, right? On multiple cameras. We have a studio where you define your studios, and studio is something like a container which have multiple, you can say multiple virtual sets, right? And it also pointed towards the particular engine. When you launch in a studio, all the engine load that particular virtual sets to be on air, right? Definitely. Again, we will watch, we can see it in a bit practically. We have Cook tab for the cooking, for to cook your content. We have engine monitor, and this is very useful. I personally found it very useful because I spent a couple of some year in a virtual production, and when it comes to troubleshoot, oh my God, it is something like no one knows what's going on, right? And at the end of the day, it's always there that you can't identify the particular problem. So it is something that everything is in front of you. Your engine runtime log, your studio log, your engine cache, your CPU, your GPU, your chassis, your video IO, like Aja, everything is in front of you. And this is the engine monitor tab that you have in our control application. And definitely, finally, we have the Cook Manager, where you can manage your all the Cook project and everything, and you can see the log, and you can see what's going on behind the scene when you're cooking your content. If you have any sort of particular error, you can easily troubleshoot it. So it is something like this. This is just a very basic overview. Now I would like to take you into it practically. I would like to share my screen again, I think. Yes, it's there. Okay, before I share my screen, let me explain one thing. I am using my personal laptop, a very basic, poor guy, don't have a very like a powerful configuration. So I just using my laptop, and all the applications that I showed you installed on my local machine, just to show you, just to imitate the environment. I just try to imitate the environment that you have in the production. But right now I'm using my laptop. So let's see how it works. I have already designed. I can share my screen again. Yes, I always forget. Okay, and here we go. So I will start from the editor. So I want to explain every single step, every single thing. I've already inside Reality Editor. My virtual set, my project name is webinar set. You can see right there. Let me close everything. Right there, okay? I have multiple levels inside my project, and I would like to share this information with you, that definitely for the newbies who don't know anything about Unreal, that inside a project is just a container, and inside that project you have multiple levels. You can have multiple levels, and when I say level, it means virtual sets or AR graphics, right? So you can have, maybe you can have multiple version of any virtual set. Like I have this evening show, and I have another set which is this morning show, and I have another which is this late night show, whatever. So I have multiple levels and few default levels also. So the total number of levels I have is 5. Now I save it and close it. Let me show you one thing. This is the central drive, and definitely I have my local drive and make it a network drive, so I can imitate all the functions that have the network drive. So this is where my projects are, all of them, right there. So when these are my applications, and definitely engine server, cook server, And I think I've already started. Let me exit and restart them again. So let me start my engine. It's there, it's up and running. Let me start my cook server. It's up and running. And now I will start my control application. You can always add engine server and cook server in Windows startup. So when you start your engine, it's always there, right? So you don't have to double click it physically. Okay, guys, can you see my screen, right?
Yes, no problem.
That's great. So I have multiple tabs right here. And I would like to start from the studio. Okay. When I click on this tab, I can see this studio tab, engine tab, project, maps, launch type, and project setting. So what these all about, right? Let's create our first studio today. Let me name it something my webinar studio. And when I click on my studio, because I only have one engine right now, which is my local machine, which is my laptop, right? So when I click my studio is empty. There is nothing inside the studio right now. It is just an empty container. When I click my engine, it populates all the resources, project resources from my network drive. And I already showed you where they are. Here we go. All these virtual sets, all these folders, all these Unreal project, Reality Editor, which I made with the Reality Editor, it's all there. It's all there. It's all there. And now I am building up my studio. So my empty studio, I select my local engine. There is no project path right now, as you can see. And now I select my webinar set that I showed you earlier, right? And all of the 5 levels are right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My morning show, late night show, evening show is there. And one of them I've already cooked. I will get you through with the cooking process also. An overview, definitely. I can't cook because it will take something like 5 or 10 minutes. So I don't want to spoil your time. I've already cooked one of them. And when you select one of the cooked level, you see its cooked version right here. Okay. It is up to you that you want to load the cooked version or the editor version. It's your choice. So I have the cooked version. I select it. For other levels, I don't have any cooked version. You see, nothing. So I can launch them. If I want to, I can launch them in editor. So right now I select the shipping, and the shipping mode is for the cook version. I have a couple of some things right here. Okay. I don't want to get you guys into these technicalities, just these two very useful options. If you don't want sound from your virtual studio, from your virtual set, just turn it on. If you design your set with ray trace rendering, definitely you need DirectX support, DX12. You can check it, but I don't want to do anything with these two things right now. Another thing that you can do is in the project setting, you can link or embed your RGraph file with this studio, right? And I have one. So just to demonstrate you, it is there. Now, I want to repeat myself again. I create an empty container, right? Which is my webinar studio. From there, I select my engine. Maybe I have 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 engines, right? And when I select my engine, all the available resources for that particular engine is there from the network. right? And I select my level, the virtual set that I want to load on that engine. I select the shipping mode and I select the rgraph file. Now hit save. That's it. End of webinar. No, not right now. I have a few more things. My webinar studio is there. My engine is up and running. It shows you right there. And I hit launch. Okay, it's up. It's there. Let me check. I have so many. It's there. As I told you that I am on the very low end machine right now, just my personal laptop that I use for for R&D or just for some design purpose. So it is there. You are good to go to make this on here, right? It is already there. So this is our interface, engine interface, and you can, if you want, you can make it full screen with the config file that you have. And if you see right there, you have all the related information. And this is the this is not the full version of the information, because all that information regarding the software, regarding the hardware and all the BIOS and everything, I will show inside the control application. So this is how it works. It is already on air, and it is on air for 1 minute and 10 seconds and on one engine. And my webinar studio is on air right now, and everything is there. So this is how you make your studios for multiple cameras. Let me show you one thing, then I delete it because my system I don't think so that it has abilities. Let's stop right from there, stop engine. And if you stop all the engine will be stopped. So I have one engine, I will stop it right from there. And from the settings, here we can add multiple engines, right? So right now I have one local engine. So if you want to, you can add maybe more. I definitely use the local IP. One is already there, so default reality port 666. You see, engine 2. Add another one. 3. It is there, but definitely for the time being, I don't want to use it. Let's check one thing. 2 engines right there, and inside the studio, let refresh. Oh, it's already there, right? So local engine 1, and this is another engine which represent another physical camera inside my studio. So I have 2 engines right now, and I can select 2 different virtual sets to load on one click from this interface, right? I have 4 cameras. If I want to, it's not practical, but definitely it's there. So I want to load 4 different sets on my on my 4 different engines. So I can do this, and the process remains same. The process will remain same that I showed you for the local engine. So it is already there. So let me delete one of them again. And now I'm back with the local engine. So I hope you guys understand the functionality. And let me share a few more things with you. Where is my my webinar studio. It's there. You can search it. It's there. And morning show is already there. And one more thing, you have filter toggle. You can export this list. Every virtual set on your drive is showing right here along with the version. This is another very important thing, right? And you can always export it as a CSV for your future reference. You want to share with you, or you want to just keep that information as a record, right? So you can always export these lists as a CSV, right? So it is there. Let's move on to the cook. Okay, guys, in the cook version, in the cook tab, we have what we can do. We can cook our virtual set to make them optimized. Again, it is not mandatory. When you feel you need more performance out of your set, definitely you can do this. It always helps you out. Sometimes it improves the performance like 25 or 30% or more maybe. This is what I experience with the cooking. And it is the great advantage that we have here. We have it in Reality Virtual Studio. So it is quite easy. You just select your project, you just select your level, and you add cook test. That's it. I don't want to start cooking right now because it definitely takes 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 minutes for this very basic set. And it's there. And you just need to hit cook, and that's it, nothing else. The cook version is ready, and when you select that particular asset from this project, the cook version will show right here in the shipping mode. It is very straightforward. So I would like to move on the fourth tab, which is engine monitor. And you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 different columns right here in the first tab, which is engine system information. What we can see right here is the GPU, video IO, ICAJA, CPU, CPU temperature, fan speed, everything is there, everything. And your IT and broadcast engineers and system administrator guys love this utility. Because if you have 4 engines, all the hardware resources of all those 4 engines represented right here, and you can check that which part that you need to make work more optimized, or it is creating some sort of problem for you guys. So it is always there. When I select my engine, I see detailed information right here. The BIOS type, the board, and the RAM, everything is there. Everything is there. Computer name, Windows version for that particular engine. For that, if you have 4 engines or 5 engines, you have all the configuration listed right there on the right side. So it is quite helpful in terms of monitoring and in terms of troubleshooting, right? The second tab that we have is engine runtime log. It helps you to identify when your engine was on air, when, how long it keeps itself, you keep it idle without doing anything on it, right? It is already time tagged right there, and you can filter them as per your requirement. What you want: today's log, yesterday log, last 7-day log, last 30 days, this month. If you have any specific date, you can define it right there. So all the information that when your engine stop, when your engine start, when your engine start cache, when your engine crash maybe, it is already there. It is all there. Or maybe you can, yes, of course, CSV is always there. You can compile the log into one single CSV file and you can definitely share it with someone, or you can keep it as a record. All the filters available right there. So it is very handy. It is very easy to configure, to monitor or manage your system resource, engine resource. When it comes to the engine studio, you see I have a couple of some studios, right? These studios, right? And I can definitely, this again, this is the log file and it is time stamped when you start, which studio and which studio have which set, because I already described you that each of these studio have is kind of a container. It carries multiple virtual sets. So when you come in this tab, the engine studio log, you see the test 01 or is have the project webinar set, and the map that it has is the morning show, and it is cooked version, right? Launch type shipping. When it is stop, it says it's the launch time, it's on air time, and it's the stop time. Wow, that is great, because you know that what your operators or what your you can say that studio managers are doing uh, with, with the particular virtual sites, right? When they start, when they stop, when they launch. Again, it is a great monitoring resource. It is great when it comes to troubleshoot a particular thing, not only the technical thing, but for the managers also. So it is a great tool for, you can say that studio managers also, right? So everything is there. Again, we have studio log set. You can set it today, yesterday, last 7 days, or whatever. You can define a starting and ending date. And again, you can always export it as a CSV. It is already there. It is already there. So the engine system monitoring, engine runtime logs, engine studio logs, and finally the engine cache. This is very unique. And I love this. You know why? Because it sets the popularity according to the usability. Maybe you use one particular virtual set thrice a day, and one virtual set you use once in a month. So it set its priority in order to manage the cache, right? The cache is already there. And when it comes to the popularity, you see right there, the popularity of this particular studio is 63. It is on air 42 minutes 33 seconds, right? This one has 10, only 5 minutes on air time. This one is 9. This one is 16 because it has a bracket, upper and lower bracket, so it keeps all of them in one popularity group. So it is already there, and it is managed by the system, by this you can say that by this automatic cache management system with some sort of algorithms. So when you load a particular set, it never takes time. 1, 2, 3, or 4 seconds, and it's there. And you also manage your disk space with the help of this tool, right? So the default disk, the default cache size is 33 GB, and you can always increase this size, and you can always decrease it according to your requirement, and you can empty the cache right from there also. It removes all the cache files for your virtual studio, all the cache files, right? So these things are very useful when it comes to studio management, when it comes to the resource management, when it comes to troubleshooting, when you want to monitor the resources. So you know, guys, that it's not only the virtual set is based on the design and composite and all that stuff. Definitely it is there, and you know what we are dealing with, where the finest compositing, real-time compositing pipeline that we have, right? But on top of it, we have these tools which helps managers, operators, technical guys to resource all the system resources from one user interface.
Question is, which mode you use for highest performance?
Definitely the cooked version, without any doubt.
Performance.
Right? Performant. Because you know that all the shaders, all the resources, all the everything compiled, and it is editor free version, right? So when you are talking about the cooked content, it always performs well. I'm not talking about reality studio, in the gaming industry also, right? So the cook version is that we support the cooked version with all control. This is something which makes difference, right? So it is there. But if you don't want to cook your content, you can always load them in editor mode. And it is not something that it is not memory efficient mode. You design, if you are senior enough and you you are good designer, you design your content like this, you can even run them quite fine with the editor mode also. But if you're talking about the comparison and performance, the cook version or the shipping mode is always the better version for the performance management.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many engines do you think that one operator can handle?
It depends on the operator expertise. Definitely. With this interface, let me, no, I don't think so that I require to share my screen. With this interface, the operator is not handling the engines basically. Oh my God, he's running the engines. No, it's not like that, right? Engines are there. They are running quite fine. He is just, if you're talking about operator, you know what's the job of the operator? Just click launch. That's it. If he see anything suspicious, he always call IT or support. Okay, I don't have, I can see black screen on my, on one of the engine. So when it comes to that, your technical guys came in, they see the system performance, they see the engine log and everything. Now, yeah, this is very good question actually, because now it comes all the features that we have. What is going on? What's going wrong with one particular device? It is something like set, virtual set, or it is the engine itself. So these are the troubleshooting steps. So operator have nothing to do. He can manage 40 engines simultaneously, right? Wow. Just one click and that's it, nothing else.
Mm-hmm. There's a question, I'm not sure both of us can answer this, but do you need a different license for this control tools? Do you know?
No.
No, okay, then Tarun, I will get back to you with this answer because it's licensing. So you'll be receiving an email from me. Another question is, how many tracking camera channel can Reality handle? Yeah, for example, if 5 camera in Unreal Engine, which is connected with tracking cameras, is it possible to switch camera channel in zero density and endline switcher? By the way, we have a lot of newcomers to Reality, so we must actually answer these types of questions to give them an idea.
Yeah, definitely. If there is something that I can answer, I can definitely answer that.
Yeah.
If there is anything that I don't know about it, if it is not my domain, I will always
Yeah.
forward to someone else.
Yeah.
So definitely you can switch your channel, you can switch your tracking cameras inside the reality. This is the very concise and short answer from my side. Definitely you can do this.
Yes. Okay.
And
So
number of engines and number of tracking cameras doesn't matter at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No matter. No problem.
okay, perfect. Can we use Unreal Engine's post effects also? Does Reality Engine supports this?
Yes. This is how it works. And no one else support post process like we do. Definitely you can control every single aspect of the post process volume inside the Unreal post process volume. The glow, the vignetting, and everything. Not only that, you can even have ability to bypass any particular thing that Unreal has, right? Like tone mapper, like motion blur, maybe. So this is one of the unique feature of the reality so far that I know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I know I'm not.
No problem. Okay, so does the system work as smoothly for cameras that are not in the same premise, which asks about the remote productions?
I don't understand. Can you repeat the question, please?
You know the remote cameras. You have a remote camera, and does your system still work as smooth as a physical camera in the premise?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And we, for the remote production, we did couple of some in-house productions also, where the talent is like maybe he is at home and we teleport the talent inside the virtual studio.
Yeah.
So definitely, and it worked absolutely fine without any problem.
Yeah. I can send some resources on this as well
Yep.
in a minute. Do we need a special switcher on any engines? How do you manage the engines? The question is.
With the help of external switcher, definitely you can do this, and you can create your own switcher inside the reality system also. So you can switch between the cameras. This is what we have because we have the node based environment. It is not typical menus and sliders that once you stuck somewhere, you can't you can't do anything because it is limited, it is hard coded there. We have our own node graph, we have our own composite pipeline. So whatever, you can create your own virtual solution inside the reality, another solution you can that you can create. So it is already there, it is node based. And Bream, definitely it is the right time to share some resources
Yeah.
because yes.
I already did, and I can send more. I'll just keep taking the questions, and when we're done, I can still send them.
Okay.
Can we design lighting presets for any stage performance? This is about design, but let's take this question as well.
Yes, 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 yes. What type of lighting design? I don't understand. You are talking about the Visivic files or what?
Design lighting presets. I'm not sure if Tarun would like to
Elaborate.
elaborate on this.
Yes, I can get the answer.
So I can go to the next question. Which versions of Unreal Reality is compatible with?
Right now I'm using version 2.9, which is compatible, which is based on the version 4.23, and very soon the reality version 2.10 will be in the market. It is based on version 4.24.
Maybe it's good to mention this here. Reality Engine is not integrated with Unreal Engine, but it is Unreal Engine. So it always follows the releases. So for 4.23 is compatible with our latest release, Reality 2.9.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Tarun, can you elaborate on which design you're talking about regarding the lighting? We can answer that questions. But apart from that, this would be our last question. Do you have any final remarks for us?
Yes, I would like to, I don't know how many of them are very new to Unreal, but it is not always about, because uh, the composite pipeline that we have, the care that we have, the graphics that we can produce with the reality editor. On top of it, we have the whole suite of control applications, and I've already described in very detail, right? And when it comes to the controls, we very soon we will have something like the Reality Hub, which is web-based control application, and it is awesome. And definitely we will have maybe we have a separate webinar on it. So if you want to see how reality works, Birim, can you share my webinars with these?
I already did.
That's it. That's good.
Yeah.
And you can always follow us on LinkedIn, on like or subscribe our YouTube channel. And most of the common question that you have, that how realistic we can produce, what type of compositing pipeline we have, everything is already there. So if you have any question, you can always contact with the support team also.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Can we have a preset type lighting setup within Reality that matches the studio lights?
You have DMX controls, right? I'm not sure about it. I need to ask it with the R&D team, but definitely, if you're talking about the DMX control, it's there. If you're talking about particular lights, data, import, I don't think so that it's there, because I know Unreal doesn't support WYSIWYG or vector files, right? So you need to convert them into FPX first, and then you have to import them. So we are based on Unreal, right? Reality is the fourth version of Unreal. So I don't think so that Unreal support those type. But if you are talking about DMX controls, if you are talking about that you can control your physical light with virtual and virtual light with physical, yes, you can do this with Reality.